Hi, welcome to Deus Ex Breach Mode. Click the I on the top right for playlist for all of the nodes. Click the description below for timecodes to jump to what you're after. We're doing network 1B, all of the dark file, Darknet Nodes, or whatever they are. First up, DF1. This one's a little bit tricky. For all data, what I'm going to do is just kill everything in here because it makes it a bit easier to get around instead of being ridiculous and sneaking. If you've got additional box kill weapons abilities, it's going to make life quite easy against that heavy. If you've got a decent pistol, that'll make short work of him too, or an anti-heavy mod. There's a turret there that you can shoot as well, and then that's pretty much it. Another guy might come in if the heavy saw you or the turret. You can see he's shooting at me there. Sometimes he'll come, sometimes he won't. There are 4 data towers on this one, and we're going to grab 3 of them before we get any of the Darknet fragments. But I'm also going to open this just to prevent getting shot. I've been caught out by it a couple of times running around at the end. But here's our first fragment just on the left, and we're going to take loosely the path we take with the speed walk. After we've got the data towers, I could have got them as I walked around, but now that the area is clear, it's pretty easy to see where they are. There's the first one there on the left. Just in this hole. There's another one wide in the open, and there's another one behind some server blocks over here behind the turret. I know it's around here somewhere. Where is it? There it is. And the last one is down in the pit behind a lockdown door, which will open when you've got all the fragments. Well, not all, but whatever it is, 13. Or you can just hack it now. It's up to you. Anyway, 1 and 2 drop down for 3. 4's directly in front of you. 5 and 6 are behind here in this little hole. 7, 8 and 9 are behind a smashy wall here, so smash that and drop through. There we are. 7, 8, 9. Number 10 just to the left as you come out behind a little alcove there. 11 directly in front of you, just up a bit. 12, 13 and 14. I know, just 12 and 13 up there, and then 14 directly underneath. You might need to do a little jump to avoid the Icarus landing on the speedrun. You'll see me doing that. And then the last one, which is actually quite tricky to get into because it's very easy to grab onto the top of the container during the speed run. There's number 15 and there is 16, although again in a slightly tricky position. So grab that, and then the final data tower right in there, that's behind the lockdown door. So flip around, get out, grab that, and make your way to the exit. You can of course sneak around the heavy if you want. I'm not going to stop you. I just find it easier to take him out because I've got some extra box damage. But still don't have a great primary weapon for robotic stuff. For the speedrun, I activate haste at the beginning and then get pretty much, as I pointed out, the same order as before. I lost a bit of time there, and you'll see we get plenty of time to spare at the end. We've got 4 there, then back into here for 5 and 6. You may see some fragment bits disappearing. Icarus dash a little bit. We're basically not going to smash the wall this time. That's the big difference. Then up here for 9 and 10. Drop down for 11 there. We're going to grab 12 in the hole here. You might want to jump up to the right so you don't grab on. And then this one's a little bit tricky. You kind of want to drop onto there. I jumped a bit early and nearly ended up scrambling up the wall, but then make your way out. And Icarus dash your way to victory. You should have just about enough energy to make your way through there pretty happily. 27 seconds, 33.5 is the limit. So you got some time to play with. I made some mistakes. You can probably shave it down to 25, maybe 26 generously. DF2, pretty close to DF1, Talon Pike. We'll grab all the data first. For this one, you're probably going to want some way of shielding EMP. You can either get that in the armor org, but it costs an awful lot of memory to allocate, or you can get Titan, which you can just switch on and off, but you'll have plenty of time and energy to use that, and I certainly used that before I could afford to be running it. You might also want to upgrade your health to at least 200. 300 if you're really struggling, but you should be fine. And then as long as you've got lots of jumps, you can just jump your way down here and you'll only actually take damage while you're touching the ground. You can use the server blocks on the left and right as you go. Jump up and grab that one. Don't bother faffing around with any boxes, it's a waste of time. And then as soon as the data passes the white bar, now those lockdown doors will open, and just pop in there to grab the final data tower and you'll head out. Pretty straightforward. Just remember not to head out until all the data's downloaded like that. You might have to wait a second or 2. But that should be everything you need. The time limit, 16 seconds. Double Icarus dash down here, run, jump, activate it, and then just you can pretty much walk back because you're going to have to wait for the data to download. There are some people who've got some very good times, and I can't really understand how Icarus dash works, if I'm honest. Sometimes when I jump it fires me forward, sometimes when I jump it fires me down. but there's presumably a way of being in the air, having it fire you forward, and you can just do 3 Icarus dashes to the end. But number 3, go diagonally down and right from number 2. It's another collect fragments run. And it's stealth, which is pretty annoying. So for the all data run, make a bit of noise, just run up there, he'll hear you and come and investigate, so knock him out. Kaboink! Then when you're done with that, we're not going to grab any of the other fragments in this opening corridor just to give us a bit more time around here. You don't have to activate Ghost yet, but 200 health and Cloak level 2 are definitely going to help. Grab those 3, so we should be up to 4, and then activate Cloak as you go through that laser grid. Then we're going to drop down to the left. There's actually 2 behind us that I could have grabbed now, but I choose not to for whatever reason. I think I was just doing a poor job. Then just straight forward. Your ghost, you can see it's running down quite quickly. There's a pretty awesome ability called Saver Clip, which reduces the amount of energy you expend on things like Cloak when your clip is empty. 2 up there and then 2 in the back corner here. Now the data towers, but yeah, if you have that active, it's really useful. I don't want to use it to do these because then it makes it look like you need them. But your ghost will have probably run out by now, so just stay hidden from the heavy as you sneak around on the ground floor to grab both of these data towers there. And then jump up. You might want to stand up before you do that, make sure the heavy isn't looking directly at your face, and grab that one which is opposite the exit door over there. You might want to use a little bit of invisibility to jump across that gap. It's possible the heavy can see you. He's done it a couple of times to me. There's 2 more in that corridor and 3 directly above you. There we are, 1, 2 and 3, and that's all 26. You don't actually need to collect all data fragments, you just need to get all the data towers for the all data award, but I get them anyway. Now then, the speedrun, 36 seconds. You want to run up here, grab that first one, and then immediately jump up here. Don't use your ghost yet. Drop down and grab that one, then through the door, activate ghost just before you drop so the guy doesn't see you, and then these 4 through the laser grid. Then we're going to drop down to the middle plateau there, use a drop hop so you don't Icarus fall and blow your cloak. Then jump up this way. You can see I wasted a little bit of time there. Drop down for the 4 along this side. And then we're going to head up here. There's 1 there to the right that I just sidestepped to get, which is the final one, and then you can rush for the exit. 30.98 I think it said, maybe 31 point something. 31.04. And you got 36 seconds, so you should have plenty of time on that one. Number 4, directly up and right from number 3. Yet again collect fragments, which seems to be a theme in the Darknet files. Now again, I'm just going to take the heavies out at the beginning to give myself a bit of breathing space. You can sneak around them, it's just a bit more boring. So if you've got a little bit of EMP ammo, just use 1 shot with the focus org, I like to do, and sneak up behind him and punch him out. There we go. And then there's another one around here, so activate focus, the slow org. 1 shot on him, and then a takedown. And you should have plenty of energy for that. Now, those guys seeing you will spawn in a sniper up here next to the turret, so we're just going to go up there and deal with him now before he starts shooting us in the head. And then when you're there, flip to a weapon which allows you to take out turrets, and that's pretty much all the enemies that you can meet here. There's a first data tower on the left. I think there's 6 or 7 in here. Maybe? Anyway, we'll have a look at a map in a second. You should be up to 5 fragments by now. Come down here, there's 2 behind this smashy wall. There's 5 data towers. There we are. 2 fragments behind this smashy wall, I think. No, I'm lying. There's a data tower behind the smashy wall. There we are. That's data tower number 2. There's another one directly opposite from there and slightly to the left. There is number 3. Number 4 is at the back of the room here as you're looking from the exit. And number 5 is behind a lockdown door. Not this one, it's actually up by the exit, but we're going to grab the fragments now. And I missed 2 in the corners and have to look around for them a bit afterwards, but there's 2 more. 3 up here, 1, 2, 3. And then there's 1 directly underneath me, which I miss for ages. And then 1 in the back corner, which you'll see me look at a couple of times now. Like you can see it, no, not so much there. Those 2 are quite sneaky, they're just down some steps that don't lead anywhere. And so on each of these construction things in the middle of blocks, there's 3 on the top and 1 underneath. So watch those. 1 at the back there, and then there's 1 above you here, slightly sneakily in a little, there you go, alcove there, so grab that. 3 up here, as mentioned, and 1 underneath. And then there's 1 by that red box down there, but yeah, you could just about see the purple glow from it. Now the turrets have opened, so if you didn't open the lockdown doors previously, just be aware if you're running around here looking for the last ones, they will be shooting at you, so better to go for them in advance than wait to be caught out. So yeah, there's one there. You can see I look right at it, and then there's one. See by that red box, and then there's another one in here, and then there's one behind us and to the right. But I missed those. We will come back for them though over there. Head up through here and to the right. Watch out. There's a turret there, which will now be looking at you. I do a pretty bad job of killing it. So use a bit of the slow AUG just to go through and shoot it. And I think maybe I've missed. Oh no, sorry. Yeah, a guy always spawns in if the turret sees you. So be wary of him. You don't want him sneaking up behind you and shooting you in the back of the head. That would suck. Final data tower, dead ahead. Boop. And then 7 fragments in here. And you can see I'm still missing 2 because I'm really clever. So yeah, 1. I'm going to speed this up. 1 is so just check all the corners. Would honestly be my advice. That's the best thing to do. You'll see 1 here at the back. On the left, you'll see the exit just up there. See those doors directly ahead of us, and then there's one diagonally across the room. There's the exit there. You can see it there. So I kind of saw both of those at some point while I was running around, but like a fool, I forgot them. So apologies for that. Anyway, then make your way to the exit. Again, you don't need to get all the fragments. You just need to get all the data towers for the all data. The speedrun is really generous. You've got a whole minute. The way I did this was to use focus AUG to hack these doors right at the beginning and then just ignore them, let those server blocks go down in their own time. I just kept focus on the entire time so that when I was being shot at, I'd at least be away from where the bullets were. There is one here that I should have got afterwards rather than before, if that makes sense. Go, as you jump up there, go right first. And then grab that other one as you come back this way. Then I use an Icarus dash there, I don't really know why. Get 2 of the ones off the roof here. No, just one. These 2 here, and then the 2 in the pit here. As long as you basically get 13 anywhere from this floor, then you're going to go back for the 7. See, we're up to 13 now. And then we're going to go back for the 7 in the room with the turret here. And as long as you've got a bit of focus left, I kind of blew it stupidly doing an Icarus dash, but there, you should be up to 20 as long as you don't miss one like an idiot. And there you go, 39 seconds or so, and the time limit's a minute. So you've got, that one's overly generous on the time, strangely. Anyway, DF4, Talon Pike leads us to DF5, head straight up and right. There's one more after this, but you'll only pick that up on the last Darknet. This one's slightly sneaky. It's right by the entrance behind a smashy wall. That's the one that it took me a little while to find. But pop in there and grab that, and then the rest are pretty much all in the open. You can see them marked on the map already. Shoot the drone. There we go. If he sees you, another one might spawn in. There's 2 turrets down there that you might want to, well, do want to deal with now rather than later. I'm just looking up for the drone that decided not to come this time. And then through this door there's another drone gimping around in here, so get him. And then there's 2 data towers in there. Still that other drone has decided not to come back, but 1 and 2, or rather 2 and 3, because of the one we got behind the smashy wall at the beginning. Then we're going to drop down to where the 2 turrets were. There's 3 more down there in a line. Here. 1, 2, and 3. And then 1 directly above us in the middle of the room, which is the big one. That's got a lot of data on it. There we go, but that's all 18. It's not actually much in here, 18 terabytes I think in total. Make sure it's all extracted when you leave, but that should be all data. Now the speedrun, I don't know how people are getting 14 seconds on this, I really don't, because you have to hack that door at the beginning, and it takes a while to come down. I use focus AUG to do the hack, and then switch it off for the server block to come down and the door to open, and then switch it back on. I Icarus dash around to the right here, because if you go clockwise, it will leave you up by the door there. Safe to exit with a few seconds to go. There we are, yay. But yeah, I'm really not sure how people are getting 14 seconds on that. I think my best was 16 and a half. Just one of those things, I guess. See, 14.8. There's some 15s in there for some friends. There's also a couple of ridiculous times set by naughty cheaters, like Nexus 23, 0 seconds. Aha. Anyway, DF1, case on right next to DF5. Again, this won't appear until you do the last Darknet mission, so don't worry if it's not there on your map yet. Just keep on plugging through the game. Now, this one's a pain in the bottom because you're losing health the entire time you're not moving. So after a lot of attempts of trying to find like a sneaky path round and to get everything really quickly, I eventually realised that actually the way to deal with this, and it took me 2 or 3 goes to get this clean run, so don't be dissuaded if you do this once or twice and die. Also, my AI levels are maxed out, so I'm taking far more damage than I need to. But just use EMPs on these titans to kill them. One shot and then a takedown. I've got a battle rifle for taking down the turrets. There's one there, and then I completely run past one just to my right. And then there's 2 regular guys that I just use for takedown as well. So by having a lot of energy at the beginning, just watch for those turrets. Don't stop moving to take aim. Just keep sidestepping. But with Focus Org active, it allows you to take your time to line up those shots while still moving. There's one more turret just down to the right. Now you want to pop this bridge at some point. There's that other turret there. And then there's one over the top here. I think, do we grab this now or later? 2 more fragments up here as well. But now pretty much everything is dead, so as long as you don't stop to look around, you can just keep circling. You won't lose any more health, which is good news for all involved. There's one down there. You want to try and avoid doing things like Icarus falls there. You'll lose a little bit of health as you fall because it counts as standing still. It'll only be 1 or 2 points, so it's not too much to worry about. But you want to avoid doing them if at all possible. 2 more round the side of this block, and you can see like just having everything dead now makes your whole life a lot easier. The speedrun, it's actually quite easily possible to do. You've got a 2:15 time limit. So I just did haste, focus active the entire time, and yeah, just ran. Anyway, we're not doing the speedrun yet. You'll see that in a second. You will need full jump pretty much specced out here so that you can make it up here for, there's the second data tower. And then there's 2 more behind lockdown doors. There's one of them. I didn't bother to pause for the lockdown doors to hack them. It just didn't really seem worth it, to be honest, because they're going to open in a couple of fragments time. So as soon as we get those 2, these lockdown doors will open. Assuming you can jump up there. There's 2 fragments there over the side, and then 2 more round and down a bit further. Again, you don't need all the fragments to get the all data, you just need all the data towers. But I'm just kind of getting them for completeness. Jump over there, 2 more, and then we're going to jump up the side. I kind of missed this jump, but you can do it with a basic triple jump. Back up onto the railings on the right. Here, 1, 2, 3. For some reason I catch on the ledge and it lets me jump again, which was very lucky. I have fallen off there. So just be careful, make sure you're facing slightly to the right so you grip the rails. 2 around the side of this building. You can use that as an alternate route up onto that pathway above if you prefer. I activated this bridge earlier, so grab those 3 and you'll see there's 3 more over there by the steps to lead out. But there's 1 data tower here through a lockdown door that's now open, and 1 diametrically. Diametrically? I don't mean that, just opposite. Just regular opposite. There we are. So head over there. And the reason it's better to kill everything is just because the moment you have to hide from a Titan, you stop and then you die really quickly. And you can see I had 110 health I think when I wrapped up, and I got 90 now. So all those little Icarus falls and slight stop starts didn't cost me too much health, and it's just better than risking taking a stray headshot. But there is all data found. That's the way I would recommend doing that. For the speedrun, again, 2:15, you've got all the time in the world. You can take like any number of routes. So I've just activated focus at the beginning, jump straight over here to get these 2. That Titan heavy dude will barely see you. Then along there, you can also drop round. There's 4 underneath you. You may remember 2 to the left and 2 behind. We're going to come straight ahead here. Try not to Icarus fall, because that will switch off your host, and you may just your haste, your focus, and you may take a rogue shot from one of the turrets. Then we're going to go back up around the building for these 2, which leads us on to the walkway here. I mentioned previously it's not a bad route to take to get up there, but you will need super jump and triple jump. Then run your way down here for 3 more fragments. Ooh, you can Icarus dash there if you want, although you might not want to waste the energy. Then I just shoot this turret from a distance here. You can afford to wait for a second just to do that. Again, you've got so much time, and it just means that when you drop off the side here, you're not going to be taking too much damage. You can see with Focus Org, even the little climb ups, which normally without it would cost you, end up not. And I just do those little hops there to stop myself doing an Icarus fall and taking damage. It's force of habit more than anything else. And then jump your way up here, get these 2 around the back of this. That's going to bring us up to 18, and then there's 3 on the ladder on the way out, just as focus has run out. So you should be leaving with 21. Or 20 in my case, because I missed one. Anyway, that's your lot. That's all the Network 1B data nodes. On the left is, I need to zoom in to see this, Network 1A, all the Darknet nodes, and on the right, Network 2A, all the Darknet nodes. Again, click the eye on the top right for access to those and the playlist. And there's a Steam group linked in the description where we send each other challenges to win wonderful packages. Anyway, that's it for now. See you in the next video. Lots of love. Bye.